I'm Zither Hero, and he is,
Not Super Mario.
and we're in the Kingdom's Wrestling Review, and we're gonna discuss whether or not BTE storyline should be in the main show in Dynamite, and if it's a good idea or a bad idea.
Okay.
Start off with the good. We're trying to be positive here. We're not trying to
All
trash
right.
AEW.
Really? That's a surprise.
It's the
All
good and
right.
bad here.
All right.
So the good.
Be nice. Be nice.
Now, obvious, we're in a day and age where streaming is taking over. So soon enough, there will be no more TV contracts. So I think what AEW is doing right here is they're getting prepared. Um, Now the problem is, so they have storylines on BTE, on Dark, and apparently now Elevation. It's not a bad idea, but if it's going to be a major storyline, you can't include that in BTE. Um, but with
I,
that said,
I think you could. You just got to advertise it better.
yeah. But
Let people know what's going on.
so yeah, so the bad in this is that you need to let the people know, the casual fans, not the AEW fans. The AEW fans know about BTE. They got to know that there is another channel that has content out there. They're not in advertising BTE at all. So they got to advertise that. Dark, they do talk about Dark, but they don't even touch on storylines here and there. So they got to work on advertising those. But even then, improving the storylines. So one major storyline that's on BTE that is kind of dragged its course a little bit is the Hangman storyline. That's a perfect example because what they plan to do is they want to have Hangman have a redemption arc. He's gonna go through depression because he's an alcoholic drunk and eventually beat Omega for the title, and it'll elevate him. Makes sense. The problem is it's on BTE, so they're missing a lot of stuff on Dynamite that's on BTE. So what's your thoughts on that?
Hangman. He was my guy, but after what they're doing to him, I know people want him as the champ, but not anymore. They have to rebook him in another way. But I was just focused on Hangman. But what were my thoughts on what was it?
On your thoughts on the storylines not being on Dynamite about him, it's on BTE.
Still not a good idea because, like you said, they don't mention it. They don't. They gotta find like they gotta find like maybe at least 15 minutes on Dynamite to recap stuff that's happened, like on Dark Elevation, and BT, just to let the casual fans know what's going on.
A perfect example is the Road to Dynamite. So
Yes, that would be perfect.
they don't have those because, as we've said many times, the matches go way too long in AEW. Cut them down half the time, and you have plenty of time to have the Road to have
Yes,
packages where you have Dark, where like you see QT Marshall own Fuego del Sol, stuff like that, and then show the storylines. I'm not saying that's a storyline right now in Dynamite, but just stuff like that is you can
terrible
you can
storyline.
you can work with it, but they don't put anything, no packages on Dynamite. Once in a while they do, but for the most part they leave it all on YouTube, and that is a big issue.
Yeah, that's actually one thing WWE does do right. I mean, you could not. I mean, you could miss months of WWE and jump right back into it because they always recap.
Well, not just WWE, that's pretty much every single other promotion. MOW, Ring
Yeah,
of Honor, NWA, they all recap.
yeah.
AEW, this is
For
the
some,
problem, is
yeah,
that there's so many fans that you always hear they're saying like, what's going on? Who's the cleaner? They expect you to know that this guy from Japan was a big deal, and they expect you to know about his gimmick. Nobody, I don't know. Well, anywho,
yeah. The only big deal from Japan that I know about is right behind me.
well, yes. Um, Now what they should do, they need to include if they're going to include storylines that are not going to be um, featured as much, at least make it low card, at the most mid card. That
Yeah,
nobody really cares about the low card stuff, the
yeah.
mid card stuff. So at least have those on BTE. If it's their option, if they want to have on Dynamite. I mean, they don't have Road to, so they're not gonna have BTE stuff. But yeah, at least have those on BTE. Don't put major storylines in BTE. They're screwing that up. They're hurting the Hangman arc. Like despite the fact that it's long and drawn out, it's at least build it up, but don't keep it on BTE. So yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, I can see that. Just show more of that on Dynamite, right? More of what's going on with
major
Hangman on B.
storylines, yes.
Okay. So, but mid card, you don't care, right? Just keep it on BTE.
Yeah. So pretty much
Right.
it. I'm Zither Hero, and he is,
Not Super Mario.
and we're gonna
We're
watch King Kong versus
versus
Godzilla.
Godzilla. So, have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.